What is up, what ifers? Welcome back to the channel. Look, if you haven't already, make sure you follow and hit that like button. Get in the descriptions, go over to Rumble and follow me over there. I'm trying to go live, y'all. But today we're going to be tuning into some of the most chaotic, weirdest, and freaky TikToks that'll make you rethink everything. So you're going to want to stay locked in, because you ain't going to believe this.
Did this man just really say this shit?
Guess what? Every trucker out there with an 8th grade education or high school education knows they're likely not to have a job in the next 3, 4, 5 years.
Wow.
Why is this man still in office? Why? God, why we voted for him? And then y'all don't want Trump?
I didn't vote.
Why we want him? To have this man for another term, I am taking my brain out of my head and throwing it into the sewer. To have this man run another term or be president again, I'm going to be the most miserable mother on this planet. I'm going to tell you now, I will be the most stressful, miserable person on this planet. And I will do everything in my power, make countless videos talking about Joe Biden. Because this man, why is he in office still? Why is he still talking? Why is he 80-something years old still running for president? He needs help. Y'all can't see this man is just completely lost his fucking mind.
That roar is not coming from a snow machine. Instead, the plume you see are tiny aerosol particles. It's the first technology in the country to test ways to brighten clouds in an effort to cool the globe.
This system is composed of 3 main components.
In these tanks, Jessica Medrado and a group of scientists from the University of Washington's Marine Cloud Brightening program are mixing salt and water and using a compression system to test if this machine can distribute the right size particles. They say Alameda provides the perfect cloud conditions over the bay.
If you make the particles that are too small, they are not going to create the effect that you want in this marine cloud. If you make them too big, they will actually create or induce rainy clouds.
The goal? To mimic the effects of pollution in a cleaner way, using salt water to brighten clouds, which they hope will then reflect more sunlight back into space to help cool the Earth. Still in the early phases, program director Sarah Doherty says right now they need to figure out if it's even possible and how much impact it could have.
To understand, so with something like marine cloud brightening, you're not going to just reverse global warming. So it's really important how it plays out in the climate system will depend on where you could brighten clouds and how much.
Cal State East Bay professor Elena Giventel is excited about the research, but cautions that as Earth continues to heat up, the various ideas for cooling the world are not without controversy.
While there are certain benefits from trying to cool the environment, we're not quite sure what kind of negative effects.
Doherty believes reducing emissions is the most important tool, but says that alone won't be enough.
But we are kind of locked in at this point, committed to significant climate disruption. So the question is, are there other things we can do to help reduce suffering and impacts? And this might be one of them.
The group of researchers plan to be here throughout the summer. They also hope that they can make this an educational experience for those who visit the museum. In Alameda, Valina Jones, NBC Bay Area News.
You know, first off, let me start by saying global warming is not a real thing. It ain't. My white people, y'all need to find out what these white people know, because they are trying their hardest to cover up this sun for some reason. And I think it's y'all who needs to find out why they trying to cover it up. Because I mean, if it was really global warming, it's other things they can do, like cut down on pollution, pay people more money so they don't have to go to work every day. So it cuts down on the driving and the pollution on the cars, right? It's other things they can do. But they rather spend money on machines like this to try to create clouds. And Lord knows they cannot cover the entire earth with just that one machine. I don't care how many machines they come with. If you knew earth to human scale, if you understood that, you would understand they can never, ever create a cloud big enough to cover the entire earth. So yeah, white people, y'all need to go investigate that. Because it seems like y'all people the only one got a problem with the sun. I was just cutting yard in the sun yesterday. I didn't have a problem. Why are they trying to block it? I don't know. I ain't even trying to figure out why they trying to block it. It's not my problem. But I know that if they block it enough, it could affect all of us. Our crops, our food, plants. Y'all need to investigate that.
Welcome back to Key Talk Media. So the person that you're looking at right here is currently going super viral online right now. Now you might be asking, why in the blue hell is this person going viral? It's just a person, right?
Wait.
Well, a lot of people.
It say this man named Jaquavius mugshot. So that's a man? Oh, wow. And men in the comment sections are saying, hear me out. What? Hear you out? I ain't got to hear you, bro, because I see you.
And like, hold up. They were super confused whenever they figured out that this is actually a man. The mugshot came out, and a lot of men inside of the comment section is saying stuff like, hear me out. Now, if you know what hear me out means, that means like, hey, man, normally I wouldn't go for this, but hear me out. I'm going to go for it this time, right? But this person's name is actually Jaquavius Earl Johnson. And as you can see, whenever you get locked up,
that is the manliest name on the planet.
If it's a male or female, it says male there, and obviously 21 years old, right? Now, a lot of people in the comment section are saying stuff like, oh yeah, the men that are DL are now coming out, and this is the type of person that's actually getting them to actually come out.
That's weird.
And my question for y'all is, if y'all was just scrolling down, and obviously you saw the video, well, you didn't see the video, you didn't know that this was a guy, would you think that this is a male, or would you think that this is a female? Because that's the big question going on the internet right now, especially on like Instagram.
Well, when you first scroll, you probably wouldn't know whether it was a male or a female. You would probably automatically think it's a female. But me, I'm going to investigate. I got to make sure, because these days are weird. So yeah, I'm not going to automatically say, oh yeah, I might do. No. That's people that are super horny. Yeah, I ain't like that. Yeah, you gotta have some type of intelligence when you're dealing with things of today. So yeah, it's just like they say, a lot of DL guys, they just, they're popping out. That's all.
This is a working model of Terrence Howard's patent. From what I can tell, this is what makes time travel possible. This baby might have enough juice, and I'm talking about 1.21 gigawatts, and we can go back to November the 5th, 1955. This is a working model of Terrence Howard's patent. From what I can tell, this is what makes time travel possible. This baby might have enough juice, and I'm talking about 1.21 gigawatts.
You know what? We got to start paying more attention to this Terrence Howard character, because since he stopped acting, he's been on this, I want to say, Einstein trip. And how do you go from being an actor to one of the smartest guys on the planet and refiguring out reality and all this stuff, man? We got to keep an eye on that dude.
Look at this, y'all. A gigantic warm spot has been spotted through satellite pictures in Lake Michigan. Look how big that is. Look, first, look at it right here, y'all. It looks like there is something coming out of it. Look at that. It looks like land is rising, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe the South Antarctic anomaly again, something like that. But you guys know the story or the history of Lake Michigan, right? Right? The nickname for Lake Michigan is Lake Michigan Graveyard. Did you know that there are over 10,000 boats and vessels and over 30,000 people that have been caught drowning in Lake Michigan? Did you guys know that? They called it Lake Michigan Graveyard. Not only that, but as of recently, look, Atlantis under a Michigan lake, they found a prehistoric structure in Lake Michigan, you guys. Now, they are calling it Stonehenge because they don't want to throw people off. But look, to create structures like Egyptian pyramids or British Stonehenge. The definition of Stonehenge is literally a prehistoric megalithic structure. You know what I'm saying? So that could be anything, a big rock. But what they are saying is they just found a pyramid under Lake Michigan. Now, I don't know how true this is, y'all, but take a listen to this.
popped up from nowhere under Lake Michigan, and scientists saw something terrifying inside. No way. Yo, check this out. Just last week, a bunch of researchers from Detroit decided to dive deep to explore what's under the lake. Little did they know, they were about to hit the jackpot of weird. They gear up, and as they're sinking deeper, they start hearing these bizarre noises no one's heard before, even though they've traveled around these parts loads of times. Oh, yeah. They shrugged it off and kept going. But then, bam, out of the blue, they spot this massive structure chilling in the distance. So the crew hops out for a closer look, running tests on the thing, and here's the kicker. The material itself doesn't match anything on our planet. Oh my God. It's like some alien architect swung by and left us a little souvenir. They're all freaking out because, hello, this is uncharted territory.
Now, again, I don't know how true this is because they do things behind our back and they don't tell us anything, you guys. Remember, they just leave us in the dark. But it says more confusion has been added to this long-standing mystery with the discovery of an enigmatic prehistoric structure beneath the U.S. Lake Michigan. So they're probably finding a whole bunch of things down there, and they're not telling us about anything because they want to keep us in the dark. They don't want us to know what's really happening around the world, y'all. But this right here is something to look into because there's changing happening all over our planet, and this right here is a big deal. Not just because of what Lake Michigan is known for, but what is coming out of that lake. What is coming out of that lake? This video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. I am only raising awareness to interesting situations.
But you know what though, man? When they was finding those pyramid-like structures here in America, everybody was like, well, America is the real Egypt. I don't believe that. And the reason why I say that is because, hell, the Mayans had a pyramid. They had pyramid ruins and stuff. So, I mean, maybe them finding these pyramids aren't uncommon. Maybe they're all over the globe and we just don't know about them. We haven't discovered them yet. They say only 5% of the ocean has been discovered. So who's to say what else is out there? We don't know, man. But for us to just automatically say, oh, this is the real Egypt, no. We can't just confirm that. Extreme paranormal activity captured. Let's see.
What is that?
What the hell?
Get
back.
Yeah, get back. Did everyone hear that? Wow, creepy or what?
Yeah.
So what is happening is with shape-shifting, or one way that it's happening, is sometimes that energy field just outside of visible light moves in to that frequency range. It sometimes happens when this vehicle is going through great emotional turmoil. I've had that story told to me many times when people have seen this, the circumstances surrounding it. And at that point, this energy field enters visible light and becomes the prime forward energy field. And then it goes back again. It's a very consistent theme that when these people who've been victims of this, they use a lot of drawing to try to draw out their memories. Again and again, what they draw are people with reptilian eyes. These are actually drawn by a satanically abused person. And these were sent to me with their permission by their therapist. This part of the human brain is what they call the R complex in mainstream science, or the reptilian brain. From the reptilian brain, the R complex, we get cold-blooded behavior, an obsession with hierarchical structures of power, top-down control by the few, aggression, might is right, winner takes all. These things all come from the reptilian brain. And I have just described perfectly the behavior of these hybrid bloodlines that we call the Illuminati.
Yeah, y'all know I've talked about the reptilian part of the brain in previous videos, so this is not new to me or to us. But I will say this, I think anybody can harness and become a reptilian if you become evil enough. So I don't think people are actually reptilian. I think they access, or they are so influenced by evil things that they unlock this reptilian part of themselves. This is just me though. They unlock this reptilian part of themselves, and what we think and what we know is evil ain't really evil. Because if you listen to the man, he said like being attracted to power and evilness and hierarchy and all these different things will actually allow that to become prevalent. So yeah, I could believe it. I believe that more than it's some actual reptilian looking people walking around here, or, you know, reptile looking people.
This is the James Webb Telescope. Does it look familiar, guys? If you've been on TikTok in the past week or so, then you probably have seen pictures very similar to this. And if you're not sure where I'm going with this, take a look at this. This here happens to be a patent for the Sun Simulator. There's a video going around this week on TikTok showing this, the apparent Sun Simulator. In this picture, you'll see a close-up of one of the reflections coming off of the sun from a high-altitude weather balloon that looks awfully similar to the patent for the Sun Simulator, which also looks very similar to the James Webb Telescope. Could it be that they had us distracted so much with all these great images from space from the James Webb Telescope that they were hiding the fact that this telescope was actually the Sun Simulator? Now I'm sure all the NASA fanboys and heliosexuals having NASCasms over space pictures are going to have a field day with this. So tell me what you think in the comments. Could it be the Sun Simulator?
You can stop it. Now what, so...
Go to that image.
Like if you picture dropping a pebble into a pond or a pool, everything expands in these longitudinal waves,
right?
Perfect spheres, unless there's something else in there. But when it hits the edge, it all starts bouncing its way back. And when it meets, when these returning waves meet expanding waves, that's when we get our first geometry. So this is the proof that the universe is not infinite, but finite. Because you could not have shape without the returning waves, and the waves would not return unless it was bouncing off of the edge of something.
Look how strange that is.
Bingo.
Look how strange that
true.
hexagon on the top of this of Saturn is. Or yeah, that's Saturn, right?
Yep, and then we don't even, and
that is so crazy.
He explains exactly how he built it, all the angles of incidence, all the pressure systems that he used. All of that is so it can be a repeated experiment. But they've ignored this. This is in the beginning of my book. You go to my book, that's the first page on there. Before you even open it up, I've got this, and we rebuilt the Milky Way galaxy the same way, and it predicts the star arrangement better than NASA does. And this is without dark matter. This is without dark energy. This is without the standard model. So
is dark matter or dark energy, are they primarily theoretical?
That's all theoretical. They've never witnessed it, and we could.
Yeah, we got to watch him. 3 UFO discs show up in Puerto Rico. Yeah, that's a little weird.
If you were covering a certain story and that story was so interesting that the world powers were watching as well, and soon one day someone knocks on your door and says, "We need you to stop talking about this matter." And also they take away some of your property, thinking that this would wipe you off of the internet. If that same content was made back available to you through iCloud, would you share it with the world?
No.
Would you?
Not if it was
If
made
it was
through
something
iCloud. No.
that would change the way every single person on this planet thought. Because some things would not make any sense anymore. Would you share it? Well, guys, you may soon see something that one has never ever seen with their naked eye, caught on camera very soon. Follow this page and stay tuned. It's about to get interactive.
Are you familiar with Khalil Gibran?
Yes.
He wrote a book. He wrote The Prophet, in 1923, but he wrote another book called Sand and Foam. In that book, he told a story of a man who had been away from his family for 4 months working, and he was excited to come home. And as he was coming home, he knew that the mountain, when he saw the mountain, he was close to home. So his 5 senses started having a conversation, and his eyes says, I see a mountain, I see a mountain, I see a mountain. And so the ears perked out and said, I don't hear a mountain. The nose sniffed and said, I don't smell a mountain. The tongue tasted the air. I don't taste a mountain. And the other 4 senses started speaking among themselves, and they came to the conclusion that there must be something the matter with the eye, because they couldn't perceive it. But all of these things, we've been misled just because we've been fooled by our senses. Our eyes see 0.05% of the entire electromagnetic wave. We're blind cosmically, but we judge everything by what we see. And they've done that with science for so many years. You look at E = mc squared. That talks about expansion. It does not show how it's divided. You've never breathed in twice without breathing out. You breathe in and you breathe out. You charge and you discharge. So how is it that the breathing in, they're acting as if the universe is just expanding out, breathing out, and it's going to dissipate out, and they never include the contractive side of it, breathing in.
He's too deep, bro. That is way too deep. Come on, man. That is true. How can you judge everything by what you see? And that goes back to what I say about these videos. If you have not touched it or felt it or experienced it yourself, you always stay skeptic, man. Always. But hey, that's neither here nor there.
Okay. Die. He does. You will die. So that's the... Okay, yeah, he's pissed. You should probably go.
I remember this.
That's not my cat. Totoro. Totoro. Where are you? Totoro. What are you doing in my house? What are you? No, it's over.
Bro. What? Oh, it was real? Yeah, that cat one just threw me off. Wow. Video that is circulating. What? He's walking while there's a low tide or something? I don't know.
Cycle. In 2003, 40 BC, our good buddy Toth, who the universe was very proud of and the founders loved dearly because of all he had done to try to help rehabilitate the Anunnaki races, he caved into pressure and he orchestrated something we call the Great Deception. Because he was so trusted, he was allowed into the colonies of the Iani, the Ascended Master.
Yo, can you believe they have a bill on the table that can possibly close down all Federal Reserve banks, which will mean you will wake up to zero in your bank account? Now, you know, this just happened to Cuba. All of their banks went to zero. Citizens woke up and couldn't get a dime. It sounds like we are about to go into a massive reset. If they pass this bill, it's about to get crazy.
No, it ain't.
It is about to get crazy in the United States.
Maybe for some.
Wow. Wow.
Well, I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave it here. Hell, if they trying to close all the banks, that might not be such a bad thing, because if they close all the banks and you wake up to zero in your account, now I know that may hurt some people, but then that closes all debt too, right? I mean, I can't pay anything if you took all my money. So I don't know, man. I don't even know if this bill is real, man. Y'all do your research and you find out. I ain't gonna even waste time on it, because they always introducing new bills, man. And they could personally affect all of us, but hey, it is what it is. All of these bills been affecting us, man. And we can't and we haven't been doing anything to try to change that. Nobody will band together. All we would do is sit around and talk about what we should do, right? So it is what it is, man. But I would like to believe, and I would like to kind of go back to Terrence Howard and what he was talking about the universe being finite, right? If that is in fact true, then I mean everything that we have been told, again, is a lie. That means the way that we think and how everything around us works has been taught to us totally wrong. But what he says makes sense, and it kind of goes back to speaking out into the universe and getting it back. So how would you get it back if there wasn't anything for it to bounce off of and come back, right? Something to think about it. Things that make you go, But I would like to think that, though. So if it is finite, it's kind of believable. Everything around you is finite, right? In order for you to see things, the light has to bounce off of something to come back, right? In order for you to feel air, it has to bounce, or it has to be pushed off of something, right? It's amazing, man. It is amazing. And we've thought that the universe has worked one way. But you can also ask the question too is, like, if the universe is finite, then would that mean that all of the stars in the sun would light up the universe? Because then it would actually have something to bounce off of, right? Then again, light can't travel that far, right? Or that fast. And by the time that it reaches the finite part of the universe, it becomes faint. So is sound faster than the speed of light? That's the question. Y'all find out the answer, let me know. And like I always say, do what you will with that information. And hey, if you like what you saw, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you know when I upload. Jump in the description, hit that link, head over to Rumble and follow me over there so we can go ahead and go live, y'all. And remember, challenge the argument and not the person.